Boys, I'm sat here with two of our very own super studs, the Brickwall James Wall and Harry Liell, who's still not got
I ain't got a name yet. It's pretty tough.
I like the British schoolboy, you know, pretty good.
Yeah, you were like the original one.
Back in the day, that was quite good. That got a few views on YouTube, didn't it?
It did, yeah. The British schoolboy. One of the problem is you don't look like a schoolboy anymore.
No, I don't.
No, you look like someone who's been around quite a while.
Brad Pitt.
Not all about Brad Pitt. No, that.
Yeah, you look about 60.
Yeah.
He's got what most young lads have got nowadays, haven't they? That fucking straw hair.
That is common now, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like Wurzel Gummidge.
Yeah, did a little bit of dye, Might do you wrong this week.
Ah, it is what it is, Harry, you know what I mean? So, we're here, we're down at the Super League in Birmingham.
Yeah.
We're at Morris's house, Birmingham Bullets, and it's been emotional. We've seen some great matches so far. Obviously, we're not going to release any results in case the videos don't come out and spoil everything, but we are going to have a chat between ourselves. James, I want to start with you first.
Yeah.
You've got a massive match, what's just been announced, Knuckles Up 4. You're going to be pulling Craig Toulier. But before you get to pull him, the very own Lean Machine Tom Holland gets to pull him in what, 3 short weeks?
2 or 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, not long for Tom to have a crack at him. So we'll see what happens with those two.
How did all that come about? Did your match come out? Have you known about yours for a while? Or did yours come up before Tom Holland, or what?
Well, I don't know when Tom's came up for him, you know, but his, I'm sure, was probably first, I imagine. I found out about mine, 2 months ago or something, maybe. Yeah, massive match. Going to be interesting to see what Tom does with him.
Do you think it's a good style for you, James? It's great.
Yeah, do you know what, Harry? It's a perfect style for me.
Yeah.
You know, a drag hooker, the way he goes, it's ideal. So for me, it's not really been about training something new, looking at new avenues to see what I should do with this person. This has been about rehabbing the arm and just going to my A move, my one ace move, and then let's just see what we can do. So I'm hoping I can run through it.
Speed's usually a weapon for him as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's not as quick as me, is he?
He seems to have a little bit of an issue with his elbow coming off back of the pad as well.
Yeah.
When he does get sideways, he does tend then to do the old lat drag, and that's when he does elbow foul a bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got any criticism of your style, you've got to be careful about coming off the front foot. So hopefully we don't see like a foul end.
Yeah, and
but so as Tom Holland match comes on looms, just give us, you know, because we want to promote him as well. So how do you see that one going, Harry? Truth.
So I think it's an interesting one. I think Craig is an awkward style to put against from the few times that I've seen him, like on the Monster Factory and things like that. I think it's going to end up in a hook. I think Tom Holland's not the fastest hook puller, so it might be a defensive hook from Tom Holland initially, and I think it's going to be a war. I can see him maybe the first 2 and not getting the stop. I think maybe Craig Toulier is going to have too much, but I think Tom's going to find the stop. He's always in a good match. I think potentially, you know, it's going to come down to the last round. I think it's always going to be a bloodbath if Tom's in the match, if he's not outclassed. I think it's one of those I couldn't really tell who's going to win, but I think it's definitely good. You know, it's going to be a war if Tom stops that.
Yeah, I mean that's what people are saying. Can Tom actually stop it? The rumours are going around that Tom's not going to hook. Tom's going to top roll. He's been grafting. He's been grafting behind closed doors. Top roll, top roll, top roll, top roll. Now, if that's the case, then we could be seeing a completely different match than we think. My only worry for Tom is actually getting the stop in a decent position, because he's not like you where you're heavily muscled, and when you can stop it from bottom at pad, you've got those big pythons just hanging in for dear life. He's a bone structural arm wrestler. He wrestles with his bones, and that's my only concern. Will he have that strength at the bottom of the pad? That being said, we're dismissing Tom Holland's speed. Tom Holland's speed is fast as a whippet, and he's also capable of getting A side. And if he does, can Craig Toulier pull through Tom Holland when he's dug in like an Alabama tick?
Shoulder and height.
He'll have to, because even Tom and Artem Taunenko did a session recently, and they looked really rather, well, maybe a year ago, and they looked rather close. And I think Craig Toulier will probably smash Artem. So it's like, I think Tom's going to have to get A side. He's going to have to get it locked in. Can Craig Toulier dig it out from Tom Holland here? I don't think so, but I don't know if Tom's going to get there. I think
Well, we've seen Craig Toulier. Not only did he win the round robin 90 kilo championship a couple of years ago. He's just gone and won the 220 pound class, 100 kilo class.
Yeah.
So he's clearly in absolutely amazing
He's a
form.
bigger guy, isn't he? Naturally, like, he's going to have to cut hard. Tom Holland's kind of probably going to eat up to the weight.
No, I don't think so, you know, Harry. I mean, I remember Craig Trullier, he wrestled at, if I'm right, about 132 pounds, which was about 60 kilos. Yeah, when he was pulling WAL 88, I knew he was really...
cycles ago.
he was really eating up to 88 kilos. So I don't think he is naturally the bigger man. He's quite short. Obviously, where Tom's got that height, but what he does have is 3 kilograms like a chimp. So it might just even out that leverage. But yeah, we spoke about Tom. You've got him next. I know we're going to get together and have a big interview about that. So we're going to just bypass that match a little bit because I think personally, you're going to knuckles up. You're going to batter him. Yeah, I think you're going to batter him. I think your style's horrendously bad. And I don't even want to speak about it because I know that you're not a traitor. Oh, Harry, we're gonna bring you into the conversation in a minute, son. You've been making big waves.
Yes.
Just a few short weeks ago, I heard you was in unbelievable and moral form. You dismantled the Birmingham Bullet like a small child.
Yeah.
He's telling us he's in some amazing form. He's going to 78 kilo worlds. So what sort of form are you in, Harry?
I was going into that match. Every year I think I've stepped up in some way. I've done something. I've beat someone I shouldn't. I've won something, and it's now my 6th year. And coming into this match, I thought I need to beat Craig, because if I then don't beat Craig, then I've plateaued. You know, I've come to the point where I've beat him a few times on one-off pins, and I thought I need to beat him. I was revved up, and yeah, I think it looked quite dominant because we're both doing the same thing, and I think potentially Craig wasn't actually that far behind in that move, but yeah, I love Craig. I trained with him a lot back in the day, and he smashed me so many times, so it felt quite good to get a few pins on him. Looking forward, I'm going to go to the IFAs in -86s in September, hopefully win that. I want to do well in that. And then ARMGODS, I've got Billy Davis under 95 kilos.
I just want to touch on that.
Yeah.
That one is for the 95 kilo right arm ARMGODS UK and Ireland belt.
Yeah, that's a big
But
one.
sat to my left here is the left arm 95 kilo champ. Recently took it away from Greg Foster in Murphy Tidville. But he's also the Commonwealth champ at that weight.
Yeah, he's got a few belts.
And he's won right-handed. And he sat here disgruntled thinking, Paul, he rang me the other day on the phone, he went, Paul, why is Harry and Billy Reese getting this match before I get it? I mean, why are you not giving me the chance? Am I not the man?
I did, yeah.
So I said to him, well, listen, I've got bigger plans. I'm looking at putting you in a European Championship belt. He says, well, I want them all. I said, well, the match has been made, so you have to wait your turn.
Yeah.
So we all know that match is happening in November.
Okay.
That's like 5 months away. At some point next year, if you win that belt, Harry, you're probably going to have to face off against him.
Beat James.
Now,
Have to get training.
do you believe that you have what it takes to take out a brick out the wall?
I think it would be naive to say that I would go in there as a favourite or I'd be confident I'm going to beat him. I think training with Mindaz and Lee and all these people at Swindon who are very strong, I know that I have strong angles. I know that if I get a hit in the right place, I can make people work. And I think right now, I think if you put me and James on a table, he's going to smash me. I think that's just fair enough. But one more year, you know, every year, I think I'm getting more stronger than James is getting stronger each year. I think at this stage, I think I'm still quite young in my career, still building into my frame. I think potentially, you know, it still is the case that next year James smashes me. But I've got to be hopeful. You know, I wouldn't be an armour, so if I wasn't going to say I'm going to try and get to that level. I want to stay around the 86s because I think I want to go to the world level. I think, and that's if you the lightest that you can be, that's the best you're going to compete at that international sort of level. If I ever go to WAF or anything, but you know, for those where you don't have to water cut, it'd be nice to go to a 95 kilo match as strong as I could possibly be in 12 months' time. Who's to say I can get a stop in the right place? And you know, I'm easily could get 6-0'd as well because James is killing everyone. So you know.
Well, there's an interesting thing. You can still make 86.
Yes.
I mean, looking at you, you're over 6 foot. You're heavily muscled. You know, are you struggling to make the weight? Really? Is it tough?
It's tough, but I still have. You know, I'm not that lean right now. I think I could lose a bit. I think it is a struggle, but I'm quite light considering how big I look and how muscular I am. I'm quite a big hand for my weight, and I think that's the most competitive I'm going to be internationally. I think it's just if I go to 95 kilos, I haven't got that raw power that I think some of the guys would have at like WAF or whatever. So I'm happy to keep trying to make 86s for as long as I can't make 86s, and just being dominant in 86 kilos. I think.
Well, ARMGODS 86 kilo champ, Commonwealth champs, Craig Sanders. You've just dismantled him in a match in the garage. I mean, that's something that possibly, you know, you could relive at 86. Tom Holland.
Well, that's another thing. Tom Holland is probably, you know, the unspoken 86 kilo British champion. He is the guy who is making that weight every day.
Nice to meet you guys. Very nice to meet you.
Take care. All
Nice
right.
to meet you.
Shame we didn't get a chance to have a bit of
Yeah.
that,
Nice to meet you, mate.
All right, pal. Take care, guys. Have a great day.
And you, man.
See you.
I didn't see that.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I'm really sorry.
What's your name again?
Mark.
Arsehole.
He knows it.
See you later. And listen, you two, stop wearing them tight pants. I can read your lips.
Yeah, I think Tom Holland's the guy who has been the British champion at the weight, unspoken, because he's been too good to even pull that at every British. And I am the British champion 86 kilos. I want to keep being that person. So I think Tom Holland in a year is the next feasible match. Probably James is going on that different trajectory where he's going to be a bit too strong. But I think you know, if James and Tom Holland pulled right now, I think James would probably beat him. I think Tom Holland is someone I'm probably looking at more than James. So I think James is that next category above of size and strength. And I think in the hand, I think it could be a good match. And that's the motto I want. I want to be British champion at 86 kilos. I think to be that person, actually to be him, I've got to beat Tom.
That's a fair comment. I mean,
that is fair, yeah.
You touched on your club before, and for me, you have the best training partners in the country by quite a while. You've got Lee Webber, you've got Mindogus, I mean, you've had Jay Casey, you've Dean Bolt roll into town, and people like that quite often. You know, yourself, who's one at top arm wrestlers. I mean, they always say that iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, whatever. You know. Do you feel like you've come on since you've been putting that graft in with them guys?
Yes. No, I think going to training and having Lee Webber every single week, you know, gripping onto you and trying to hook you, you're going to get better. The same with Mindogus and people like this. And there's such a depth of people, such different hands. You've got Scott Barrett, he's got a smaller hand, but he's got a horrible. You can't sort of. He just stays pronated. He's so unbroken. You know what I mean? Random different styles like this. And I think it all helps in these competition formats where you pull different people. So yeah. Swindon's a great club. We try and travel around. Coming to days like this is great. Getting to forward James. But yeah, no, really, Swindon's great.
Yeah, I am.
Dad's on, Harry.
Is it? I better go.
Yeah, Aaron, thanks. I'll continue.
Great, you come here.
Craig, come here.
Well,
So,
but I'll touch on that. I mean, you know, training partners that Harry's got. I mean, I'm jealous of that. You know, I mean, it's hard for me to.
why? Because you've got treacherous traitors.
No. Well, you know, just fight. You know, he's got a selection of just strength levels. He's got like the strongest, one of the strongest in the country.
Well, you said it now, Mindogus. Or are we on about Lee Webber? Can I see you couldn't pull?
What about Mindy, not Lee?
I see you couldn't pull through Lee Webber on that last video inside. And he'd had 73 matches.
Yeah.
And you'd only had one. So.
Yeah, that was my first one. I was stressed for that.
No, no.
Tapered for that training session with Lee.
No, but they have got an amazing
They've
club.
got, yeah. Pull on that.
I mean,
You're only going to get better.
I mean, just touching on that, like obviously, you know, Lee Webber, he's got undoubtedly one of the strongest hooks in the 105 class, if not the strongest under 105, let's say. I mean, if he was going in with a match with Lee, I mean, would your mindset be right? I'm landing on his arm, or would you try and avoid it like many people do?
Well, I've got new methods now, and I think Lee would be the perfect person to try a few of those methods out on you if it was a best of 7. So I think I haven't really thought about it, but I imagine if I had a match with him, I'd be like, should I do top rope? Should I hook? It's just I'd have a game plan for him. But you know, someone like Lee Webber, I would train properly for him. I wouldn't just go into just a half-hearted match with Lee. I believe I can beat him, like definitely. I think he'd struggle with the speed, especially if I was fully prepped and focused, like a fully prepped match. I think he'd struggle with the speed. He may struggle with the top roll, but yeah, like I've said many times, you know, you don't want to get stuck inside of Lee at all. And
So domestically, who's the next guy for you realistically?
Mindigus, Dauskas, that's what I see. And Adrian, but he doesn't seem to be pulling domestically at the minute, does he? He seems just to be doing all the Worlds and Euros, which is fair play. So domestically, I would like Mindigus is the target basically.
So if you was to drop yourself there now in the group, where do you see yourself? Without being, don't be modest, honest, truthful.
Honest.
Where do you see yourself? Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll leave it at that. James Hall, everyone.